fucking Bill Cosby in like Theo's room, like, and they're looking like at a Michael Jordan poster.
Yeah.
Like those guys can get up there, can't they?
That is one of the funniest scenes ever.
Oh, I love that scene.
Hey, everybody, hang tight. We're going to start the live show here in just 1 second. Happy Sunday night to everybody. Hop on in, and we'll get started, like I said, in just a second. My daughter just popped in from Columbia, unannounced. Paige, I'm doing a live show down here, but don't take Riley until it's only an hour long. Are you staying here tonight? Okay, good. I just want to make sure she didn't take the dog while I was on the air. Unless we have to fight.
It might be easier for you though.
Yeah, it could be. I know. I just didn't want to like have to get up from the mic and chase, jump in the Jeep and chase west. Hey, Brooke. Hello, George, Dan, Margie, Jeff. I saw Jeff had a good run today. I think an 8-miler. I just want to run that race. Everybody's running the Flying Pig. Just so I can say I ran the Flying Pig.
Yeah, it's only like 5 hours from me. It's not that bad.
It's probably only it's Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
I would guess that'd be about 8 hours from here or something like that. I don't know. I signed up for one here on May 15th. It's right down. It's like probably 10 minutes down the road. It's right on the Missouri River. It'll probably
I just don't like running enough to like do non-Disney races.
I don't either, but I needed something because like I have nothing until nothing right now.
I could see myself doing something like the Flying Pig. That'd be kind of fun. Like I like doing the I'm trying to think of what my non-Disney races were. I did the Indy Mini. Remember that with like Phil? That was pretty fun.
Yeah,
I like doing the Detroit one. That's fun.
Yeah.
And Lansing has like a one I do like every other year usually. But other than that, like I really haven't done. I guess I've done those hot chocolates in St. Louis.
Yeah, we did. It was a 15K, I think, or something.
Yeah, 15Ks. That's what those were.
Yep.
So I guess I'd do stuff. Like I'd go to Lincoln and run. Like it would be like, who do I want to see? Like
right, that's how I'd feel too. Like
if I want to go see Neil in West Virginia, maybe I'll do a race there. Or like that's why Cincy could be a cool place. Like we know people that are there.
Right.
Or go to Lincoln, do a run with Wade or something. Like that's how I would do these other random cities.
Yeah, chase down the Cornhusker. Yeah.
There we go.
Get a what was it called? Rock and Roll Runza. God, back in the day, that was a good place to eat. I used to speed skate there. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to do this. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We can talk about stuff because I want to do it because I got to get ahead because I'm going to be gone for like 9 days, and I want to do it this is just behind the scenes, but I'll catch up with you at some point because I got to do like one trip report ahead. I want to talk about your trip because you guys. I want to talk about Saratoga and you're staying at Pop.
Yeah. No, that was a good 10 days.
Yeah, we'll flirt about it tonight, but like we'll do a whole show on it. So
okay,
don't give the good stuff.
We can talk about golf a little bit, Disney golf, or
yeah, and how we made the right decision on canceling the.
We did make the right decision. It pained me so much.
It did, but oh man, if we wouldn't have, we'd have been in so much trouble.
No shelter, nowhere to go, soaking wet. Some people might not have had transportation.
Some people might have been dead. That light
was like a scene out of Caddyshack.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the heavy stuff isn't starting here for a while, or however that goes. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh wait, start that back up. Okay. Yeah, we could just sit here and talk all night and not even do a live show. All right, here we go.
There we go.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, April 10th, 2022. We are here on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to be taking your calls here in just a second at 407-413-9395, talking about the Disney news of the week or of the last couple of weeks, because last Sunday night we were still down at Walt Disney World celebrating the Spring Surprise race weekend, the Tower of Terror 10-miler, the Race for the Taste 10K, and the Expedition Everest 2.8 miler, whatever that became.
I think it ended up being like 2.5.
Something like that.
I joked with you because I did that one. You didn't do that race, but my transportation took like an hour to get there. Had to wait in the corral still for a like 25-minute race.
Right. I know. And so, yeah, I want to talk about that in a second, but hey, let's get him introduced. Your friend of mine up in the mitten, hashtag Scotty G, Scott Gardner. Scott, what's going on? How you doing this weekend?
Doing pretty good. I jumped right into it. But yeah, we had our first decent day in mid-Michigan in a while. So I played some golf today. So that was pretty good. And then the rain comes back tomorrow. So man, I wish I was back in Florida.
I know. It's one of those things. It was 81 here today, so really, really nice. Mallard had cheer competition actually in St. Louis. I didn't have to go to Chicago or Indy, which is always nice. But about an hour from here, got to drive down. Here's the good news: I just got to drive down, watch just her, and just leave. Like I was there for like 35 minutes. It was glorious because I didn't have to watch for 2 solid days. For 8 hours each day. I'll do that in a few weeks down at Summit. But yeah, it's a nice day. Severe storms, of course, coming through tonight and Wednesday, they're saying. So grab all your lawn furniture. But yeah, it reminds me of being down there. We had a good weekend. We had some storms. One thing we do want to mention, because I didn't mention this on the shows last week. We were planning a podcast meetup over at Fantasia Gardens, and I pushed this like, come see us and let's do this. We did have to cancel it. Not last minute. We canceled it on Saturday morning. Because the forecast, as we looked at it for that afternoon at 2:00, it was 100% chance of thunderstorms on 2 apps. So we made the right call, Scott, because we decided to go back to your villa at Saratoga Springs. And if you want proof that it was the right call, go to our Instagrams because we were live at that time and it was a little crazy.
It was crazy. We saw other people too that were down there from like Hollywood Studios and like other theme parks. But man, did we time it right? So like we went to Epcot. Like we had already canceled this, so we're like, well, let's just run the Epcot, get some lunch or whatever. We hung around there. We did Ratatouille, and then we're like, yeah, we're kind of in the back of Epcot. Maybe we should go back to the villa before it starts getting like the big stuff starts coming. So we actually took the bus. We didn't drive that day. Got to the bus stop. That's when it started raining. Right when we got on the bus, we were able to run to the villa before the big stuff happened, and then we just watched the whole storm. Like we couldn't have planned that any better. I feel like. We stayed dry. We played a game of cribbage, hung out in the villa, and watched an awesome Florida storm. That was perfect.
And here's again, I've said this many times on the show, and we talked about this that day during the thunderstorm. And this again, I know that people from Florida probably don't get this. People from the north probably do. Like I hadn't seen a good thunderstorm in a good 6 months because actually the day I left St. Louis, it was going between sleet and snow that Thursday night. And I got up super early Friday to get on the plane. And so we obviously haven't had the spring storms yet. So I hadn't seen a good thunderstorm since last fall. And it was just nice, like to see all the green grass and all the tropical, because we were right on the golf course at your villa, thunder, lightning, big winds, big rains. And I'm a weather guy anyway. I like that stuff. And being in the villa and be able to sit on your patio where it was kind of covered and we got to kind of just feel that humid air. And then we went back when the wind shifted, we went inside.
We went in quick.
We did. I mean, I said, oh, the wind totally switched. So we're getting wet. So we went inside. And I mean, that's kind of the good times, being there with friends is that you guys had a cribbage set. I'd never played cribbage. And so we kind of rode out for a couple hours, the rainstorm. And, you taught me this board game, this card game. We played that and then the storm was gone and then we went on with our day. And that was really one of the highlights of the whole weekend, just chilling, catching up and playing some cards.
That's why I like the villas too, because you can kind of spread out too a little bit, right? Like we have that little seating area where we could play a game. We did some laundry while we were doing it. I think Beth took a nap. Emily was like drawing or whatever. Like it was like awesome chill time, which definitely you can do at any of the resorts, right? You can do that at a Pop Century. It might be a little more crammed, but that's what I really love about the villa, how you can just kind of spread out, get relaxed, and just rest up for the whatever you're going to do later on that evening.
All right. So if you want to give us a call, we're going to open the phone lines right now at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. We're not going to do any news here at the top of the show. If you want to bring up any news stories, let's talk about them. I do have a topic that I thought I'd throw out there for our runners. I was thinking about this, I don't know, when I was on the treadmill, I think it was yesterday morning, is that if Run Disney made you get rid of one of the weekends that is existing right now. Okay, so you got Marathon Weekend, you have Princess Weekend, you have Spring Surprise, and you have Wine and Dine. If Run Disney said we have to eliminate one of these weekends and totally, kind of come up with a brand new concept, which they did this year. They got rid of Star Wars, came up with Spring Surprise. And for the most part, I think it got really good reviews. I was a little like on the fence. I didn't know how this was going to go. I had a great time. I wish it would have been I wish it would have been a half marathon, but I mean, in the end, it was fine. The 10 miler, the 10K, the 5K, it was absolutely fine. But if you had to get rid of one, which one would you get rid of and why? And what idea do you have to replace it? Something original. So give us a call on that. I was also thinking about, if you're not a runner, how about a land at the Magic Kingdom. You got to eliminate a land, Fantasyland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, Main Street USA, what have you, Frontierland. You got to get rid of a land. What would you get rid of? And what could we bring to the Magic Kingdom here in 2022 to maybe spice up the Magic? I know they're about to go crazy if that happened. Holy cow.
That's funny.
Twitter would be gone. I mean,
Yeah.
Elon Musk himself could not save Twitter if that happened, but that could be something we talk about tonight as well.
I like that.
So
what about some news though about my favorite restaurant, Mike, getting that refurb? I knew it was coming. I was warned by a cast member at Citricrose that was coming, but Neil messaged me today. He's like, "How much do you want to bet that this goes to like a prefix meal?" And that would just destroy me if they do what they're doing at California Grill and Narcoossee's, man. Like they can't touch that. So very curious what's going to happen there.
So when I saw the story, so what Scott's talking about, Narcoossee's is going to go through it said an extensive refurbishment over at the Grand Floridian, which is if you don't know, one of Scott's favorite restaurants. Because when I saw it, I immediately thought of you. I'm like, oh, this is like if they take out Beaches and Cream or, I don't know. So one of my,
I couldn't handle that either.
But it's got Olivia's. I'd be like, oh, don't do it. Don't touch it. Now, is there a hope though? Because you have said it needed a little love.
It does need some love. Like if you've been in there recently, what
would you like to see?
I would just like to see like maybe just a change of decor, right? I feel like the decor is kind of outdated a little bit. Maybe some of it's going to be like with the porch. So they have like an awesome like little deck that you can go to watch the fireworks. Maybe they're going to like refurb some of the like the wood on that deck. Like who knows, right? If it's going to be extended, they're probably going to touch everything. But don't touch the menu. Don't turn it into like a prefix, like special fireworks package thing like they're doing at California Grill. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do miss the old version of California Grill, having dined there this last time at Springtime Surprise. I would just don't touch what you're doing with the menu. You can refurb it, make it look prettier, whatever. Don't touch the menu, though. So we'll see what happens. If they do it, then it's fine, right? But whatever.
Well, so you've been to Citricrose though since they've reopened and rethemed that, right? And you said that was a big upgrade.
Oh, it's a huge upgrade. They turned it into like a Mary Poppins thing, which seems to be the thing at Grand Floridian, right? Like I think Mary Poppins has her own topiary out there. She dines with you at 1900. So they turned it into like more of the Mary Poppins Returns, like the new remake. And I think it's gorgeous in there. And the menu is amazing. That's actually going to be my go-to. And I read about this too. So a lot of these signatures, I'm sure you are aware of this, Mike, are doing like 3 days off or 4 days on. Like I know they're doing it at Gico and Flying Fish. Citricose was one as well. But now when Narcoossee's is going under refurb, Citricose is going to be back 7 days a week, which will be really easier to get that ADR, I feel like.
So let me ask you this, because you're definitely more of a signature dining person than I am. For example, we were down there and like we're best buds. We like to hang out all the time, but I mean, we have our time apart. You were going to California Grill and you also did
Space 220.
Space 220, which I've been to Space 220 and I wasn't getting added onto that ADR because it's so hard to get, it's just, that wasn't happening. So I went and ate different places while you did that and we met up after. But if you had to rank like right now, your top 3 signature meals, because we get this question a lot, just right now off the top of your head, let me guess. I'm saying California Grill's probably in your top 3, right? Maybe.
I don't know. After the last meal there, I don't know.
All right. But what would you put it right now? If somebody put, made you make a list, top 3.
So Narcoossee's would be in there, but I'm not going to include that since it's about to go under the extended refurbishment. Citricose for sure. Then I'll throw in Gico in there, which I know you've been to as well, Mike.
Yep.
And then, so I've been there. I haven't been there since the reopening, but from like friends of ours, travel agents with the agency, a lot of them have been saying how awesome Flying Fish is since it's reopened at the boardwalk. I haven't been there since they just recently reopened, but prior to the pandemic, that was one of my top places as well. So I'm going to throw Flying Fish in there too.
Interesting. Yeah, I've still never been to Flying Fish. And everybody says you can get a good steak there, which, I'm not worried. I'll eat anything.
That's what I'm hearing is the best, is their strip steak. That's what like the Shine Golds are saying, Georgia, like everyone is saying like that is really good. Oh my God. But in the chat, I was just reminded how much I love Topolino's. I totally forgot about Topolino's. I put that over Flying Fish. So I changed. I changed my order.
Well, you know what? It's funny though, because I think, for some of us like you, like if you look at the chat room, for the majority of our chat room, we have a lot of folks in there chatting away about this topic, is that, some of us have been going to Walt Disney World for well over a decade, and so you get this question and you kind of go back to your defaults, right? I mean, like I said, California Grill, because that's the answer so many of us have, because it's just a part of what you do. You know, like you have your hotels, you have like your Animal Kingdom Lodge with Jico, your Contemporary with California Grill, of course, 2 good choices at the Grand Floridian. But yeah, now we have these new places like, you have a new place like, like Topolino's.
Yep.
These new hotels, so I just think we're going to get more new dining all around, and I think they're going to really expand this out.
And I think it needs to go all the way around. It doesn't always have to be signature. I like the signature. I think it's a nice way I like to have 2 or 3, like on a 7-night trip. I like to have a couple or 3 of them because it's a nice way you're on vacation, let's dress up, let's go to the fancy dinner. I can't believe I left Topolino's out because I was just there too, and everyone knows like I love that. I was just you put me on the spot there, Mike. But an underrated, not that this was going to be the signature dining show. We did go to Yachtsman on this last trip that just recently reopened as well. And I think that's kind of under the radar. You think about the boardwalk area, Flying Fish is one everyone goes to, but don't turn your head on Yachtsman. I think Yachtsman is always a really solid choice too.
So I've never been to Yachtsman. Is that just one of those places that it's 100% all about the food, just really not a theme? Like the restaurant doesn't have much theming. It's just basically, because I've walked past it a million times staying at Yacht Club. I mean, you just go in there and it's so good. The bread, the steak, the potatoes.
Oh, the bread, those pull apart rolls at Yachtsman. Oh man, so good. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to theming. It's like dark floors, there's like sailboats around and stuff. Like, honestly, like I thought they were going to with the delay opening of that since the pandemic, I thought that was going to have like a little refurb or a retouch on the theme, but not really. But yeah, the food is outstanding there. And I think I told you the story. I just have good memories there. Our first trip, we had the deluxe dining plan. Do you remember that, Mike?
Yes.
Where you got
crazy.
Where you got like 3 table service credits and 2 snacks a day per person. It was outrageous. So that first trip, all we did was eat. And we had a meal at Yachtsman. It was our last night using up our last credits. And our server was like, you guys aren't on the dining plan by any chance because there's a gentleman that wants to pay someone's meal tonight. Like, why can't that happen now, right?
Bring back the dining plan or Disney so we can bring back charity.
Right. I know that's probably what it was. Someone was probably like out of just like had leftover credits is what it was. But
when we drove, I used to because we had snack credits left. I can't believe we ever had snack credits left. Looking back, like that's craziest concept in the history of the world to me. But for some reason, we always, because here's it. We have a caller on the line. Hang on one second, caller. So I just got to. So we would have, here's how tight I am, right? I could not spend a snack credit on a bottle of water because I figured, even though like the cost was still kind of like in the range where it made sense, kind of if you need a bottle, but a bottle of water was not fun. Like a snack credit on the Disney dining plan in my like stupid brain had to be something that was like a Mickey bar or an ice cream, something that was a fun snack. And so what happened is I'd be buying bottles of water out of pocket during the trip. And then we'd get to like 18 hours left in the trip and we'd have 17 snack credits left like at the end of a 9-night stay because there's 4 of us. And we'd end up getting like boxes of M&M donuts out of the food court at Pop Century and taking them home in the car. It was crazy.
That's why we're the same person. I know there's a caller on the line, but yeah, like we did that all the time. I was like, Emily, do not scan that Magic Band for a snack credit on that water. Like that's only $2.50. We can get a $5 Rice Krispie treat instead.
Ask Paige so many times, like, do not even use that as a snack credit. I will pay for that. That's out of pocket, please, ma'am. No, anyway, we have our caller. We could go on all night about being cheap about this. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for waiting.
Wait. You can get free water at Disney.
Yes, amen.
Don't buy the water.
Yes. Go to the counter and ask
Here's
for a cup.
To literally everybody who's listening, who probably already knows this if you're a Disney fanatic. Walk up to any counter service, they will give you water. Do not buy the $3.19 bottle of Dasani.
$3.19. They're $4.99 now. Where are you coming from?
Okay, look, it's been about 5 years since I've been down. So inflation's hit everything in the past.
Yes,
almost decade, I guess.
Yes.
Anyway, I've been a little away from the news. Sad that Narcoossee's kind of changing. So I wanted to share like this memory of Narcoossee's that I have. My friends and I were there. Oh, this is about 7-8 years ago, and it's about 3:00, and we're dead tired. We had just gotten in. We were doing a monorail tour, and we shouldn't have. We should have gone like right to bed and just taken a nap. But we're walking through Grand Floridian, and we're really tired. So, and we're also really hungry. So we're looking for a place to grab a quick bite. We see this restaurant. There's a few people sitting at tables all the way on the other side. There's no one standing there at the waiter at the front where the maitre d' would be. So we walk in, we sit down next to the big windows that are there, and we just wait for about 10 minutes, and then someone walks up to us and says, "Excuse me, we're closed. We're having a meeting. The people down here, it's a staff meeting before we open." And I think we must have looked absolutely despondent because the waiter took one look at us and said, "But you know what? The chef is making some Caesar salads in the back. I'm going to go out. I'm going to run and get you some Caesar salad, glass of water." And the guy comes back with like 4 Caesar salads for us. Not a small side salad, like a nice solid bowl full of Caesar salad. And they didn't even ask us to pay.
Wow.
It was just like, you look so sad right now.
Okay,
So,
ladies and gentlemen, this
it
happened
was just
once.
one of the
Don't line up
nicest
outside.
Disney things that have happened to us.
It's so crazy.
That's
I'm
awesome.
surprised. You know what they should have done was at the end of your meal, they should have made you roll some silverware, like into the napkins,
We were joking about that. We said, "Are we staff now? We just have to go wash dishes."
Wash some
I mean, you were there for the staff meeting, so I feel like you were.
Well, we were trying to listen in, but they were so far away because it's a big place. I mean, it's a really long place from the front to the back, at least as I remember. So that's my little memory of Narcoossee's. Sad to see it changed. Hopefully they won't keep those doors, and then wandering troops of tired people will just be able to walk in and get free Caesar salads.
Yeah,
so there we go. There's my tip: get a free Caesar, get a free water, and then go to Narcoossee's when they're closed and get a free Caesar salad.
That's a great story, Eric. It's one of the best stories I've heard in a long time. You actually probably are on the payroll somewhere. I hope you got a tax got tax form.
And for legal purposes, that's not a real tip. Don't go to Narcoossee's and ask for a free salad.
Please.
They're not going to give you one.
I heard on this podcast that if you come in and just sit down, you're going to get a Caesar salad and a water, and I want dessert too. That's awesome.
That's part of the refurbishment. They're trying to find a way to block the guests from coming in.
Exactly. Yeah. Without an ADR, you get zapped.
They need to lock that door. They need to fix the lock on it, and yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, hey, it's good to hear from you. Hope things are going well up in Connecticut.
Yeah, things are going well. Good to hear from you. Good to be able to call in again. Take care, everyone.
Hey, you too. Take care, and then don't go taking food from closed places.
I'll see you later. I'll try my best.
Okay, good talking to you. All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. But I mean, that's what? Those are the stories you do hear from Disney that are just like, did it happen? I mean, I believe Eric, but it's just picturing that in my mind's eye. That's a riot. Hang on, we have another call. Let's get this in. Let's see. We have another caller on the line. Now, please tell me you didn't wander into a restaurant and sit down and get free food. Maybe. I don't know. Who's joining us right now? Who's on the line?
Oh, it's Jeff. Mike.
Who is it? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's Jeff.
Oh, hey, Jeff. What's going on?
Not much. Before we start, got to send out prayers to our guy, young Simba, Dwayne Haskins.
I was sad to hear that yesterday morning. Yep.
Yeah, but no. So today, because I just got back from Disney Springs, quick little down and back to Sunday. Went to Raglan Road for the first time today. Had the shepherd's pie. Then my mom had their OMG burger. That burger was amazing.
I haven't been to Raglan Road probably since the year it opened. So how long has Raglan Road been open? Like 15 years? It's probably been open.
It's been open a long time, Mike.
That was when I went, when it was brand new. We went there for I don't even know if it was lunch or dinner, but they were dancing on the tables or whatever they do. Yeah, it was good. So you had the shepherd's pie. That is good stuff because I only have it. I've had it there and I've had it at Epcot. That's the only 2 places in my life I've ever had shepherd's pie.
Yep. Same. I had it at Epcot for Candlelight Processional dinner package. And then I had it today, but that burger it's like Jameson whiskey barbecue sauce. Oh, it is absolutely amazing.
And it's called the OMG burger.
I'm pretty sure it's called the OMG
I
burger.
believe that's what it's called. Yeah, our friend Dean Mike he lives by that burger. He says that's the best burger you can get at Walt Disney World.
I'll be in the Disney Springs area here in about 3 weeks, and good burger. Here's the problem, though. I mean, it sounds like a good barbecue, but then polite pick. There's so many good places to eat at Disney Springs. I don't know where to go. Also, I've never tried out cookies of death.
And then, Mike, I want to see you wash it down with a Guinness too, and go live on Instagram. I want to see you drink a Guinness.
I've never had a beer. I've never had a beer in my life. I don't know if I could do a beer.
Yeah, it was just weird that we were able to get in because we showed up around like 12ish, got our name on Gideon's, with like 3.5 hour wait. Well, okay, let's find somewhere to eat. And it was like Raglan Road at like 1:15, City Works at like 1:30, and there's all a couple other things. So we're like, oh, let's try Raglan Road.
Nice. So you said Gideon's was 3 hours today?
3.5 hours, which we actually. Let me see. When did I get that text? I got the because we actually went in. It was.
It's amazing like, how that fluctuates.
So they were going an hour fast.
But here's the thing about Gideon's. It just gets me. I mean, this place is not new anymore, and the fact that it is 3.5 hours on just, it's April. Like it's not even like the middle of the summer or Christmas week.
Spring break though. I mean, it's a pretty popular time.
Here spring break's been like long gone. Like it's 3 weeks ago here for most school districts. Like we had prom already in our high school.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I know.
Speaking of prom and bringing it back to football, did you see the tweet Lane Kiffin put out?
Sorry, I didn't hear. What'd you say? The what link?
Did you see the tweet that Lane Kiffin put out for prom? I think it was last night.
I did not see it, but I can only imagine what it was. Kiffin.
It's literally his entire neighborhood, all the girls just lined up in their dresses and him behind in front of a pool.
Well, that's Lane. The Lane train. You either love him or you hate him. If he's your coach, I guess you love all that stuff. Boy, he likes to troll everybody.
Well, we're done talking to you guys. I'll let other people hop on here.
All right. Well, Jeff, you take care. Thanks for the update. And I'll be trying out that OMG burger, I think, in the next few weeks.
Nice.
All right. Take care. You take care, and we'll be thinking of you.
Here's some research for us, Mike. So the Raglan Road has the counter service Cooks of Dublin, which I know a lot of people get like fish and chips there. I wonder if you can get the burger there. I don't know, but we can do some research because that could be a nice alternative for you. So you don't have to get the ADR. You can just walk up.
You know what? That was another thing I was thinking of, and I just kind of mentioned it was Cooks of Dublin, never eaten over there on that side. And so that was the night you went to Space 220. I decided, because we were going to meet up after we watched Harmonious from a really sweet spot, by the way, was that I had the fish and chips over from the UK.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're staying at Pop Century, ultimate hack is you can mobile order those fish and chips. Like get the order right there, and then is your Skyliner buckets coming in over the International Gateway entrance. You can hit that you're there. By the time you get off at Skyliner, walk in the touch point, it's ready. I mean, it was just like
you got to say you're there early there, because now that has mobile ordering, it's dangerous. I remember it was over Princess Weekend, like we were gonna get it, and I had to wait. I hit the button like right after we ordered. We're like in France or whatever. I had to wait 30 minutes to get my fish and chips. It was so bad.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, man, they give you a lot. Like,
oh yeah, it's the best.
And you can get a tray. They just give
you can order. You can just mobile order the fries. That's the biggest hack. Like if you just want like a little snack, like just get because the fries are so good. Like that's our like Harmonious snack. You know, like if we want to watch it from the UK, we'll just order like 2 orders of just the chips. And then munch on the fries while we wait for the show to start. Oh man, no, I wish I was at Epcot tonight.
Oh, me too. That fish was so good though. Like I only got 2 planks of fish. I said only, but I mean they were huge pieces of fish, and it was so good. But yeah, that's why I want to try Cooks of Dublin though, because it looks very similar. It's fancy.
Every time I walk by there, I just see people eating like fish and chips on those like little tables that are outside of there.
I know. Why does everything look so good down there? Because the thing is, I have all these regrets. Hang on, we have a buddy joining us. We're heading up Nebraska way.
Oh,
we've been talking for quite a while. Wade, our friend Wade. What's going on, Wade?
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
Doing great. Good to talk to you. It's been a little bit.
I think we got to get Mike a Guinness though, Wade. What do you think?
Oh man, this stuff looks like motor oil. There's no way I could drink that.
it goes down smoother than you'd think. Actually, if it's nice and cold, it looks like motor oil. You can't see through it when you hold it up to the sun or a light. But I tell you what, once you drink it, you get a little Raglan Road, like a short rib. The short rib there is fantastic, and man, it goes down smooth on a hot summer day too.
I don't know.
So
I don't know if I'm man enough. I don't know.
This would be,
I mean, the fish and chips and Coke Zero is a good combination too, though. So there you go.
And lots of malt vinegar. That's what I love, anyway.
Oh man, that's funny. You guys are making me hungry talking about all the restaurants.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I tell you what, Raglan Road though, like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it was named the #1 restaurant in all of Orlando by Orlando Magazine. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't have any idea.
But
Sounds like a fake magazine. I'm just kidding. Like the restaurant staff writes for Orlando Magazine, right?
What was that? You cut for a second, Scott.
I just said the Raglan Road staff also write for Orlando Magazine. Is that what you said? I'm just kidding.
Well, you never know.
It's kind of like Amazon reviews.
They might have stuffed the ballot box.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Like I've only been there twice, and honestly, like I think I've just been there at the wrong time. Like when 10 o'clock at night after being in the parks, like I'm tired, like I'm just not in like the right mindset to be at Raglan Road, if that kind of makes sense,
Yeah. No, I know exactly what I spent St. Patty's Day there in 2019, which was quite an interesting scene too. It was a lot of fun. I was by myself down there for a work event, but that was a blast. But yeah, I think it's it's one of those where you're like, if you plan to go there for like a dinner time or lunchtime, it's really good. I mean, it is like, it's one of the best, I think, top to bottom menus at Disney Springs, but it's been there a long time, so there's so many new things to try as well too. But it is a great place to go if you just want a beer, and go to the bar, because it's got a great bar. But yeah, no, there's so many good restaurants. You guys are making me hungry, thinking about all the different places that I haven't been in a long time, and looking forward to going to again.
I think Raglan Road needs to be on the summer trip ADR list, Wade. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking it will be for sure. Yes, and a Guinness, a couple of Guinness. No doubt. I'm thinking August. That would be a perfect time to go to Raglan Road. So, yeah, looking forward to it. But you asked an interesting question, Mike, at the top too about. And I was pondering this: what Run Disney race you would eliminate?
Right.
That's a tough one for me. I probably would say, and I may offend like 55% of the population here if I said Princess, because I've never run the Princess half marathon weekend. It's so close to like marathon weekend, and then we have a local marathon here, and so it's kind of like I've never fit that one in. But again, I would probably offend a lot of people, all the princesses.
I had a feeling. So I was actually going to feed it to Mike to ask you that question, because I figured he'd be a good person to ask that, and I'm glad you led into that. I knew that's what you were going to answer, Wade. I have my answer is different than yours, but I could see where you say that, because that's always been my beef, and Mike will agree with me when I say this, that the problem with Princess is that it's 6 weeks after marathon, and you just did all 3 of those courses. If you did Dopey, you did all 3. You did 3 of those race courses the previous weekend, so kind of weird to just do again 6 weeks later,
Yeah, and that's my thought too. Again, I haven't done it, and partially because of that, because it's so close afterwards. Now, if I didn't do marathon weekend, then certainly would be one that I would do. I like Wine and Dine. I've done it for so long. I know that one seems to, I don't know, maybe it's fallen off a little bit.
It's lost its identity
this year because it did sell out quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
it did. That's the thing. If I had to pick one to get rid of, it would have been Wine and Dine.
Me too.
So that would have been the one, because to me, it's the most stale of all the race weekends, just at this point. And it was, I don't know. I think it lost its luster when it switched from night to day. That lost probably 75% of the luster for me. And it was also the same for Tower of Terror. Now, here's the thing though, with a 10-mile race, and I was wondering about this, we were down there last weekend for that. And with it starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, you still had that sense of it was a night race at the beginning when all the theming and stuff was happening. And for the first half of the race, it still felt like it was a night race. And then you got to see the sunrise and it was fine. And they did a really good job with theming, I thought, for that Tower of Terror race last weekend too. It was well done. But with Wine and Dine, I don't know. I just think that in general, the Food and Wine Festival was a bigger deal. It was maybe because the festival is so long now, it's kind of lost its, like Scott said, it's just when something starts in July, it's not such an exciting thing to go down for a Wine and Dine race weekend in November. Like it's been going on for 5 months at that point, the festival. A lot of folks that run these races go to Disney, quite a bit, and they've probably been to the festival already once. So, I mean, just because the runners tend to be huge Disney fans, but a lot of people do. And so it might not even be the first time you went to the festival that race weekend. So I wouldn't mind to see them. Like Katie's in here and she says she'd get rid of Princess. She'd like to see a Pixar weekend. I would like to see something like that. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun, and Scott, I think, has mentioned, what about like one that celebrates the theme parks themselves? You have a Magic Kingdom, 5K and an Epcot 10K and a, Hollywood Studios half marathon, or something like that, where all the medals and, you celebrate the attractions and the shows throughout the race, something like that. I just think,
they're missing the boat on that one.
I mean, I like it. And you make great points though, about, the courses for Princess are the same, but that I'll tell you what though, because that was the last race I did out of all the weekends. The last one I did was Princess. The weather is typically awesome in February though. That's a great weekend. And if you've trained for Dopey, the advantage is you don't really have to train much more for Princess. You're pretty much already trained up. So you can kind of coast into that weekend and have a good, successful weekend, but I wouldn't mind seeing different courses. I think that would help.
Can I ask Wade a question about Wine and Dine? Because I know you love it. So
yeah,
like previously when you did the night race, because I know you go to the party. You go to the party now. You used to go to the party when it was a night race. Like there was something for me, like I loved finishing at night and going straight to the party. You're on that runner's high, boom, 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 boom. You feel the energy. You go to the party.
It was
like how is the party now? Like I haven't really gone to a party since it's been a daytime race. Then you go at night. Like is the same vibe there for the party?
It is a little different, and there's a couple of things. I do agree with a lot of what you say. I think personally, first of all, starting the Food and Wine Festival like literally a week after July 4th seems odd, and that they've stretched that out so long. I think it used to start somewhere later in August even, and that seemed early. And Wine and Dine then was sort of the last week or two or so of Wine and Dine, kind of like the capping it all off, and the night race made it great, and then the night party was fantastic. I'll say the one thing now about I'd prefer it to be a night race. I've said that a bunch of like, bring back the night race. It was so much fun, the night half marathon. But I do think now the party, the nice thing is you can kind of rest up. And then you can go back to Epcot, you've showered, you've maybe took a nap. I've fallen asleep in a pool chair a couple times, and then you shower, you make an ADR, you go have dinner somewhere or at Epcot, because you can get in on the party ticket. If you don't have an annual pass, you can get in like at, I want to say 5 o'clock or something like that. And so you can kind of make an evening of it, and then you're not as exhausted if you played it right. Now, if you just went to a park or whatever, then you're going to be exhausted. I think you asked if the energy is the same. It's maybe a little different. It's maybe a little bit more low key. But I do think more people are able to enjoy it because, there were some people I know finishing that night race and then they'd have an hour or two at the party, finishing, so late after midnight. And I know a lot of people just said, forget it. I'm going back to the hotel. I'm sweaty. I'm exhausted. I don't even want to go have my free beer. So,
see, that's what I like though. Like they would hand you they would hand you a beer right as you finish the race, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, they handed you they asked you want wine or beer at the finish line. Like they handed you the physical line, wine or beer at the wasn't it like a coupon? Yeah, it was great.
No, they had like a cooler with ice and just handed it to you.
That seems like they would never do that nowadays. That was the craziest thing.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I love that.
It was so funny. So let me hang with this way because Dan's in the chat and he's like, wouldn't it be fun to just have like a summer festival in Epcot? And I think that'd be a great idea because you mentioned like the Food and Wine Festival. I remember we used to do back when the podcast started, like for the first 5 years, we had a thing that we used to do an event it was always the first weekend of Food and Wine. We called it Epic October.
Epic October, yeah.
Yeah, we would be down there and kind of kick off, and it was always the Tower of Terror 10-miler weekend as well. So we had the race, the Tower of Terror 10-miler weekend. It was the first weekend of Food and Wine, so we would get there on Thursday. There'd always be a preview of Food and Wine on that Thursday, kind of a soft opening. It would start on Friday, and it was a great weekend. But it just felt right because it was the very end of August, moving into like Labor Day. So it was, it was that fall time. And then the festival went September, October, November. And the thing is, when something is a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter, you appreciate it more. So yeah, I just think that, you could celebrate summer with, I don't mind if Epcot has festivals. People like the festivals. It makes Epcot kind of fun. I'm fine with not having festivals too. I'm fine with Epcot either way. But you could kind of do a fun theme over the summer.
Yeah, they could make it a festival of all sports, opening up the Odyssey like sports bar and gambling facility.
We've been talking about that. Yes. Amen. Let's watch some cricket.
There you go.
Totally. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But marathon weekend signups here in just less than a couple of weeks. So you're going to be registering, Wade, I guess. You're going to go for it?
I will be. Yep. I am registered for the challenge for Wine and Dine. So I got into that. My wife and my older son are doing their first half marathon Wine and Dine.
Nice.
So my wife said she would never do more than 10K. Excuse me, but she's going to do it. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll be in the queue. Is it the 19th? I think something like that for sign up. Or I know I don't want to say the wrong date, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to Dopey. So God willing.
It's going to be a popular. Yeah. It's going to be like the 25th all over again. I think, like we haven't even talked about the 90s theming that they released this week.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of the theme? I liked it. I mean, I'm a retro kind of guy.
Oh, I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I love it.
Loved it.
Chip and Dale for the 10K, I think is super cool. Yeah, just everything about it is awesome. But like, how hard is that registration going to be? Like, I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah, I'm ready to think. Okay, if I don't get in, what's the charity I will?
Yeah, I'm already thinking about charities. Yeah,
I think we all do that. We're like, oh man, it's fun.
I just did a fundraiser, but I can do another one.
I will do whatever it takes because that's my favorite. Like, I mean, there's marathon weekend, and then there's like 59 notches before the second place thing. Because I love marathon. I love Dopey. It is the greatest. It just pushes you, and it's just so fun to have that 4 days.
So wait, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking Dopey? Because I don't think you've done that.
You haven't?
I have not.
You have not done Dopey? I thought Wade had. Oh,
I was signed up for Dopey 2020. Was signed up, ready to go, and of course got my money back for that one. So yeah, I will sign up for Dopey.
10th anniversary.
I'm excited too, and I don't think I mentioned this to Mike maybe, but my younger son Hugh will be in the Disney College program starting in August.
I had heard
so.
That.
Yeah, so it's going to be I'm looking forward to it. It gives me a great reason to have more trips in the fall and into January.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it'll be fun. But no, I'm all in on Dopey. I'll get it done one way or another. I'll get in.
Yeah,
positive
I heard a fellow podcaster here was the first to find out, even before the parents. From what I was told, I thought that was hilarious when I heard that story.
That was described to me like, "Hey, my parents are in Hawaii. I got to tell someone."
It was kind of he did all of it on his own. I mean, literally, we got the text. Yeah, we're in Hawaii, and he's like, "Look what I'm doing." I'm like, "What?"
Yes, I get that a lot too with my kids, so I get it.
Do we know anything on what he was going to be doing? Like, has he heard like what role it's going to be?
No, they asked a lot of different questions about jobs you've had, and it's I've learned a lot about this too because he's been talking in different different Facebook groups, college program kids, and there's parents groups. It's kind of crazy, but and from what you gather, they ask you what you do, and then you don't find out until days before you start your training. So it could be everything from parking lot to selling churros in Adventureland to working at a gift shop or holding an end of line sign at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad or something, so he's got a great open mind and he's excited about it. He's looking forward to hopefully reduced rates on the golf courses.
There we go. That's what it needs to be. Yeah. So how about this? Like, throw this question out there because you already said mine, but like, what would be like your least favorite role? Like, what would be the one like, I quit the college program because I refuse to do this. I'm going home.
It's funny because there's a couple from what I've learned, people freak out if they get custodial. But what the kids that do it say they love it because it's not just, you're not just cleaning toilets. You're doing a lot of other things too. You're sweeping up around the park, and they say you get a lot of great guest interaction when you do that. The other thing is parking. And a lot of kids go, wait, I'm going to be directing cars, where to park in a parking lot, but kids end up loving it and having a blast. So I would have said instantly, well, I don't want to do custodial because I've been in a lot of those bathrooms, on busy hot days. But you're not just stuck replacing toilet paper, plunging toilets.
So I like the custodial route though, because
I go, hey, you're going to be good with anything, right? You go, absolutely. You're going with a great positive attitude.
And that's how you have to do it. Yeah.
I like the custodial because like you would get that cast interaction. I was talking to Beth and Elizabeth about that while we were down there, and they kind of teased me about it, but I thought that would be a good one. My least favorite would be the parking lot, man. It is so hot on that surface. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I could do the directing traffic in the parking lot. What about you, Mike? What's your least?
See, I don't think I could do as much guest interaction as there is with custodial. I have the worst gag reflex, man. I could not do it. I'm sorry. I could not do it. Well, I'd be like, it's like a legendary Disney story, right? I mean, everybody says, custodial, it's not a bad job at Disney. And I mean, I get it. It's, somebody's got to do it. And you do get a lot of guest interaction. That's awesome. But I'm just telling you, like, I can't, like, when I was a teacher, I had this one rule when I taught, like I told the kids on day one, like in the first hour of the first day of school, like, if you even in the back of your mind think you may be getting sick, you do not raise your hand. You do not even think about it. You run to that bathroom in the hall. You will not get written up. You will not get in trouble. The only thing you'll get in trouble for is if you get sick in this classroom. I'm like, you will just run. I'm like, and if you're not sure, run anyway and then come back. I'm like, but if you do it like 18 times, you're going to get busted. Yeah, I can't do that. So I don't know, like that. And I think I could do parking lot though. I think I could. I don't know. I don't think because I mean,
you got water. I mean, I see the water cooler out there, so as long as you're staying hydrated, it's probably fine.
Well, see, because I'd want to drive the tram. Like if that's part of the deal, like to get to rotate through and drive the tram every like couple hours, that'd be fun. Maybe
tram is part of the deal, and that's what the kids say is a lot of fun. Especially being on the back, like saying, "Hey, welcome to Animal Kingdom." We're gonna
doing the spiel would be fun on the back. Yeah,
exactly. Give me a microphone and let me talk.
Please be seated.
Exactly. Oh man,
well, it'll be interesting for sure. But we got a lot to look forward to. He's excited about it. He can't wait to get down there, and he's got a great open mind about it too. And it's going to be a lot of fun for him.
Well, hey, tell him we said congratulations, and I can't wait to see him down there.
Yeah. And speaking of congratulations on another long run, man. Looks like you're ready for that full in a few weeks.
I don't know that wind. Thank you. That wind yesterday was killing me. I mean, killing me. A couple times it literally knocked me off like the path, like gusts or just, and I'd step on the grass and it was tough. And I woke up sore today. And I got a lot of doubts in my mind. So I'm telling myself I'll get through it. One way or another. May not be the best pace, but all depends on the weather. And it was tough. But it was tough. I forget how hard 20 miles is when you just go out and run it.
It's no joke. It's no joke. But hey, anyway. You qualify for the Olympics, or Boston. You're going for a Boston Marathon qualifying time, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the 50 plus qualifying time is. It's probably a lot faster than I can run.
People ask me that, and I'm like, do you know what the time is for somebody my age? I mean, because I'm older. Like, it's like in the low threes or like upper twos. I'm like, it's crazy. Like for like somebody that's in their upper 40s, there's no way. I mean, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey.
It is crazy ridiculous. And I think I looked at about mile 15 years ago. Well, that's Boston qualifying. Having more to go.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. All right. Well, it's good to talk to you. It's been too long.
Yep. All right, guys. Hey, have a great Sunday night. Have a good week. We'll talk to you soon.
You too. Tell
them have a great week.
We said hello. All right.
Thanks.
See you later.
All
right. That's waving. He is so funny. Yeah, his son will be down there in the college program here very shortly in the fall. Fall will be here before you know it. football season. Yeah, it's interesting to see what job you would get though, because that's the right attitude though. I guess you got to go down and just be open minded to whatever, and just make the most of it. Because that'd be tough though, not knowing what you're gonna get.
I know you just, but yeah, you got to have the open mind. I think most people that are applying for that program have that kind of open mind and are just willing to go for it.
Let me ask you this, because you brought up something I was going to ask you about the races. Here's the thing, because I saw all this debate, and I saw a couple of people that hated the 90s theme, like on different groups.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Most people loved it. I mean, I'd say probably 95% of people loved it. The people didn't like it really didn't like it.
Okay.
Some people were mad because Oswald was not the 10K person. Was he the 10K person sometimes?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and they changed that so much because remember, it used to be Minnie was the 10K. I loved it when Minnie. Like, I love that she's got the joint medal with Mickey, but I like her being in the spotlight on her own a little bit too. But yeah, then they changed it to Oswald, and yeah, I mean, if you were expecting, like, if you're a big Oswald fan and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oswald's been the medal the last few years. I'm going to do this race, and then you find out it's not. That's kind of a bummer,
But here's a question though I have for you. Do you think? Because I don't. This is just my opinion. Do you think like the theme of like when they announced that theme? Okay, so they put that thing out last week. All the 90s themes, who the characters are for each distance, the aesthetics of what everything's going to look like. Do you think that sways people one way or the other to do a race weekend? I mean, because like, do you think anybody was like, oh, I was going to do it, but I'm not now? Or somebody's like, oh, I'm going to do it now because it's got, kind of a jazzercise look to it.
I don't think when it's all said and done, I don't think so. It may have for Wine and Dine because like they just randomly like brought out like they just totally kind of changed the theme, where they brought like a Coco medal, like where you could have been like, because for me, like I don't like Wine and Dine all that much, but I love that movie. I'm like, oh dang, like I kind of want to do that 5K. So I don't know if I told you this. So I signed up for the virtual for it because I don't like virtual races, but like I love that movie Coco. So, but I don't want to spend $3,000 to $4,000 on a trip to Walt Disney World just to get a medal, so I'll do the virtual. So it might sway people to go like maybe do the virtual route instead. Who knows, right? Like if they want to get that Chippendale medal, now that they know that it could be a Chippendale, well, I'll do the virtual now. I don't know.
That's a good idea though. Like if you're really into the thing, I guess that's the whole virtual series kind of philosophy, right? I mean, you're into the theme or you're not, because if you're not, why would you get the medals? But if you are, that's an opportunity. Yeah.
The virtual thing is kind of weird. It's like buying a medal. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is.
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. Like if you're somebody who is training anyway, like, okay, so I run every morning. So it wouldn't be like, for me, honestly, it would be like buying a medal because like I do run the distances and I'd just be adding the medals. But for somebody say that they're just getting into running, you know what? That's a good carrot, like to get out there. I mean, if you really made it like a self-motivator to run, your 5K.
And if the time of year doesn't work, like maybe I love Wine and Dine, but like because of my job or whatever, like maybe you're like maybe you're a football coach for a college football team and you'll never be able to make it the Wine and Dine, but you love Disney. Boom, that's how you can do it. You can do the virtual. So I think it's a good option. I know they didn't really do that before the pandemic, and I hope they continue to keep that as an option because I think it's good.
I saw an ad and I didn't even see it all the way through. It was just today on Facebook and they were showing the marathon weekend medals from this past year. Like, and I don't know if it was a commercial for virtual. And then they were just like showing medal. It was a virtual Run Disney like commercial ad on Facebook, but it was the medals from this past marathon weekend. Cause it was, because the medals were awesome over marathon this year. But I was wondering if they had like leftovers or something. They were going to offer them up for like some kind of a virtual. I didn't, of course I clicked past it too fast, but should have looked. But yeah, that's interesting. So a couple questions though, non-running. We kind of got into running. By the way, the Boston qualifying time for people my age, 3:20. That's crazy. Oh my God. I've not even got within an hour of that. And I'm seriously the whole time. I mean, for like 4 hours, I'm like, I'm flying. I'm an hour. That's ridiculous. Anyway. Okay. So, Brandon's asking, what random question. What ride or attraction would you like to experience again for the very first time? So if you could go back and have a first experience. Now I'm going to throw something in here because this is how the show is going to go until the beginning of July. It could be Walt Disney World or it could be Disneyland.
Yeah, baby. I like that.
We're going to expand the universe until July 2nd. So what would you do?
I saw that question pop up and I wasn't sure if you're going to ask us. So I kind of thought it on the back of my mind. So this is like not knowing anything about the attraction, right? I'm just going to do it the first time. I never watched the video or anything on it. It would hands down be Expedition Everest to like go on that coaster and not know that you're ever going to go backwards, I think would be pretty awesome experience.
That's good. That's a good answer. Cause I still don't know what I would pick. I mean, I think a lot of people, and somebody said it, let's see, somebody who said it. Marlessa said Rise, because Rise, again, I tried to stay so spoiler free for so long, and I did probably 80%. Of course, I saw the big room with all the stormtroopers because that was in every still, but I stayed pretty spoiler free. Like anytime folks talked about it, like I was listening to some of Len's shows, and like every time, like I'd be on a run, you get ready to talk about it, and I'd like take my AirPods out and make sure like I went to the next podcast so I didn't hear it. And it was unbelievable because it was such a new thing. But other than that, I'm trying to think
That's tough.
I know for the very first time again, it might be something like Jungle Cruise.
I was going to say Jungle Cruise is a good one because you don't know all the jokes.
Yeah, because I mean when everything is fresh, it would be now it's like the 78th time I've heard the backside of water, but would it be funny though the first time? I mean,
unless if you're like on that one that Wade and family and I were on, man, where they just with the skipper just like threw us a curveball and talked about the fastest land mammal at like 35 miles per hour, and then they said it for every single animal they saw. Like it was, you just kind of had to be there. I have some video, but it was the most epic Jungle Cruise experience I've ever been on.
I wonder about that stuff sometimes. Like, dude, I guess the manager of that attraction doesn't say anything to them, or like, I mean, because I've had a few skippers over the year just like that. They go so far off script. Like
it's great though when they do.
It's so great, but like, how do they not get in trouble? Because I mean, it is so far. Yeah. I just wonder because it's hilarious for like me and you, right? Mm-hmm. But for somebody that's never been on the Jungle Cruise, you know what I'm saying? like. I mean, how many? I always tell myself, like, how many people on that boat have never been on the Jungle Cruise before? But somebody has to be a first timer on that boat.
They do ask that question sometimes. They're like, "Is this anyone's first time?" So maybe they like take that as their indicator. If no one raised their hand, they're like, "All right, we're gonna do my B script and go off a little bit here."
That's true. That's a good point. Like, no first timers. Okay, here we go. Let's go. We don't have to stick to the script. Anyway, so we got a couple more minutes left. Give us a call 407-413-9395. Let us know what would you like to go back and experience for the very first time. Again, 407-413-9395. We'll get you right in. Now, okay, Brandon's bringing up 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I rode that one time I was down like in 5th grade, went to the Magic Kingdom for a half day. I do remember riding that. Now, they have the subs out of Disney.
Yes, they have the subs.
Okay, so I'm a little bit claustrophobic. Am I going to freak out in those? I was wondering about that.
I don't think so. I think they're pretty cool. The hardest part is like taking those steps to get down. Like it's not very like accessible. Like, but like you're a fit guy, but I've seen you could do stairs sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm pretty stiff. All right, we have a call, so let's get the call in. But
but my short answer is you got to do it, Mike.
I do. That's the whole thing. I want to try to do everything, but man,
you got to do the things you definitely can't do at World, and that's 100%. One of them for sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they're historic, so I gotta do it. Anyway, we have our next call. Hey, who's joining us?
Hi, it's Brooke from Pennsylvania. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Say hi to Scott.
Hey, Brooke.
Scott.
Hello.
How are you guys?
We're doing good.
I'm calling because I'm just so excited about your Disneyland trip, Mike.
Me too. I can't wait. It's going to be nuts. I can't wait.
It was the last place that I went to before COVID. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. We just loved it. It was so fantastic. After being lifelong Disney World people, California it blew my mind in a way I didn't expect. And it's funny because a lot of people I know who went who aren't like diehard Disney people, they were like, well, it's just not as big as Disney World, like end of story. But I think for you, you're just going to go crazy. It's so fun.
Well, see, there's so many people, Pam Forrester, Scott, Ricky to a certain extent, and just folks that I've talked to through the show over the years. I'll tell you what, there's a couple reasons I haven't gone. One is that I'm always scared because scared's kind of a weird word, but like you only get to have that first experience one time. And so as much as I get to go to Walt Disney World, like I've done it so many times, like when I go down Main Street USA, while it's always special every single time, it's still not that first time. ever, and this will be, when I get to see Sleeping Beauty Castle, when I get to see the weird looking Tomorrowland on the right there with that weird looking Astro Orbiter. Cause I mean, I've seen pictures and stuff like
I love that though.
it's going to be funky. And like, I get to do that all for the first time, and I get to do it with like Mallory and my wife. Like, well, we've been talking about this and like for the first time, because like when we go to Walt Disney World, we're going in a few weeks for cheerleading, and like, we don't really plan anything anymore. Right. Because we just kind of go down, we've done it. We just like, what are we going to do? Like now we're like researching things. Like, where do we, like, what snacks do we want to have? Like, okay, Radiator Springs, like what's that all about? It's just, it's like our first world trip again. I'm so pumped.
So one place that I ate that I thought you'd like is Carnation Cafe. It's right on Main Street, and it's that old Americana feel, yes. Patty melt sandwiches, like fried pickles,
Walt's chili,
amazing.
Oh man,
fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be in Disneyland. I'll be there on the 4th of July, by the way.
Oh my God, it's a Mike Roman type of establishment to me.
Perfect. Oh man.
And then also, I know how much you guys like French Quarter and the beignets, and what's awesome is having beignets in the park. Like that is huge. So you'll love that.
Scott just keeps saying 3 words to me all the time: New Orleans Square.
Oh,
New Orleans Square. He's like, you just New Orleans
just
Square.
do a whole day there.
It's just such a cool place to be for a period of time. Just relax there. Just walk around there. Absorb it. It's fun.
So let me ask you this though: what got you to finally go to Disneyland? Because the one thing was that I'm just ready to have that new experience. Like, for one, the girls didn't have annual passes for once in the last 10 years because of the whole situation we're in right now, where you can't buy new ones. So that was an opportunity. And I just felt like it was time to have a new Disney experience. But also, I had gone to Silver Dollar City last summer, and here in Branson, we went for our anniversary, and we went to Silver Dollar City. A little park, and Matt Parrish, he swears, because he lives down right by it, he says that Silver Dollar City reminds him of Disneyland because it's like a family-owned kind of homey theme park with lots of trees. It's got lots of good food. And I went down there and I fell in love with Silver Dollar City just because it was so homey and small. And I thought I wouldn't like it because it was so small, because I'm like a Walt Disney World guy, but I fell in love with it. So I think that was when I was like, okay, I'm going to be okay with just 2 parks and, doing that. So what was it for you though? What got you out to the West Coast?
Well, we had been our last previous vacations had been Disney World, and I felt like I could explain this to everybody by doing something different. And we visited friends in LA. We actually stayed at a friend's house for like 3 days beforehand, before going to Anaheim, to Disneyland area. And actually, we went Labor Day weekend, like right after Labor Day, and the weather of Florida scared me. Like, I've never been in August or July, and it's not something that I want to do. So I thought, well, I'll risk it and go to California. It's always hot there, but there's not the humidity. And it was like, feels like temperature of 104. It was unbelievable. But because of the time of year I went, there were no lines. Like, everyone had just gone back to school.
Nice.
And my daughter's school didn't start till a week later. So we literally just walked from air conditioning to air conditioning, and we melted between places. But because of how small it was, we were okay.
Oh, that's good to hear, because we're going to be there in July.
But also, you know what? But here's the thing. It actually ended up being a hurricane in Orlando. So I feel like I made the right decision.
So I was there the same. So it sounds like you were there Labor Day weekend 2019. So I was supposed to go to Florida to see Galaxy's Edge, because that's when it was opening. And I was watching the weather. Mike knows this story. I was watching the weather like a hawk all that week.
Yeah.
And I was telling Mike, like, I hope Delta allows waiver changes, and then they did. And then boom, the second they allowed me a free change fee, I booked it to Anaheim, and we were at Disneyland for Labor Day weekend. It sounds like you were there at the same time. That's awesome.
We were there at the same time. That's hilarious. But no, exactly. It was either like, do we go to Orlando and do the Halloween party, which my daughter would have absolutely loved, or do we try something totally different and go to California? And I am so happy with the decision we made. And you mentioned your friend who was mentioning the trees and everything. The gardens, the details, like the topiary trees, it's on another level there. It's just, I think it's because of how small the park is. It's dense. You just see more of it in every view. In every place you are, it's just really cool. Fantasyland was our favorite. because of all of the charming details, that kind of old road feeling, old Americana, and the teacups, the lighting, Alice in Wonderland. Like, you just
So
can't.
good.
It's the best.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was
you're gonna
telling
love it.
Scott when we were down there last weekend, we talked about Disneyland quite a bit because he's obviously been a bunch and I've never. And I'm trying to balance like watching YouTube videos, but not watching too much because I don't want to be spoiled too much. But I mean, I know a lot of like I listen to a lot of audio podcasts, but the visuals. But I did watch a video not too long ago where the couple rode the Casey Jr. circus train, and so it was at night, and they were in one of those like cage cars, like they were like in like a car, like it looks like a cage.
Yeah.
And so they're riding around and they're filming the whole ride, but like it was just so beautiful seeing Fantasyland because, like Scott said, the park's so small, like those canal boats were just right up next to it. I mean, and just like you had trees and foliage and just lights and just it just looked like, I mean, it looked like a storybook. It was so
Man, I need to book that trip. I need to go to Disneyland again. I'm so ready.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know who has great Disneyland vlogs? I think is Jen LaForge, and I think you've been on her. I think you interviewed her, or she interviewed you.
Yeah.
But Jen LaForge has really great videos of Disneyland that are just like ambiance videos. Like she just like, it's really nice. So I'll give her YouTube channel a shout out.
I will definitely check those out. I'm trying to like, July's a long way away. I got to pace myself because
you got to pace yourself.
The first 2 days or the first 3 days that I booked this trip, man, it was like one of those things. It was hot. Like that was all I was doing. Like I got to slow down. Like
You're less than 3 months now though, Mike. So
I mean, pretty soon I get to make some ADRs and like really start to put stuff together. But yeah, 7 nights at the Disneyland Hotel. Like, oh man, I'm gonna be like staying where Trader Sam's is. It's like almost the
you and Trader Sam are gonna be BFFs.
Oh yeah, me and Sam, we're gonna be buds.
You better bring back a mug.
Oh, I'm totally bringing back a mug. I'm gonna have so much stuff. This is so dumb.
Are parades going to be back for you, Mike?
What's that?
Are parades and like nighttime shows, are they back over there?
Yes.
Are they going to be back for your trip?
Yes, Main Street Electrical Parade and Disneyland Forever fireworks were just announced yesterday coming back this summer.
Oh,
that's like one of the best fireworks shows ever.
I'm just like, hallelujah. Like whenever I get these emails, I'm like, because I used to this. I mean, for my guests at the Magic for Less, I'd be excited, but like it feels like Disneyland news is just hitting. Like in the last
Fantasmic is back too, right? I think.
Yeah, well, it's close. It's not official, but this all signs point. Like the Magic 8 Ball says, all signs point. So yeah,
I think the Disneyland Forever. You're gonna love that. That like had me crying.
Oh, I'll be crying.
So it's what Enchantment should be, if you ask me. Not, I know we're going long here,
Exactly.
but you hear Walt's voice,
right?
Walt's voice is in Disneyland Forever, which is his voice should be an Enchantment. I feel like,
dude, I'm so done. If I'm at Disneyland and Walt's voice comes on, just bring out the paramedics. I mean, I'm dead.
Awesome.
Well, Brooke, you have me more excited than I think I can be, so I appreciate that. Oh, I can't wait to get out there.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for calling, and hope things go well for you this week out in Pennsylvania. And don't be a stranger.
All right. Thanks. Have a good week, everybody.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you soon. All righty. All right. Bye-bye. Well, that was a good one. We got to talk some Run Disney, some Disneyland, some Walt Disney World. I mean, that's a good Sunday night right there.
And signature dining. And we threw that in there too.
That's good stuff right there. So what do you got on the agenda for this week? Just kind of a regular old week?
It's just a regular old week. I'm going to try to play golf. Kind of some bad news. My mother-in-law's birthday is the only one good day, and I already committed to my buddy I'd play golf.
Oh, dude, you're living dangerously.
So that's going to be on Tuesday, so I can report on how that goes.
Oh, your mother-in-law is going out golfing with you, I guess, in Elizabeth.
Yeah, so I might miss the birthday dinner. I don't know, but
don't do it. Don't do it, Scott. It's not worth it.
Oh man, so we'll see. But yeah, the weather's going to be kind of rainy, except for Tuesday. Of course. So.
I hope it rains on Tuesday just for you, so that decision is made.
Oh man, that's funny.
No, that sounds great. Well, hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. We sure appreciate it. We'll be back again next Sunday, again 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Come hang out with us. Give us some calls. We'll talk Disney. We'll have a good time. Don't forget, all these shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Just drop by their website today over at themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan that next trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. The great thing is it costs you nothing extra to work with a great agent over at the Magic for Less, and they're going to get you some great discounts as well right now. Here's the easiest discount in the world for somebody like you, I'm pretty sure. Disney Plus. If you have the streaming service Disney Plus, there are savings out there for you to be had right now for summer and early fall. So just drop by there and, hey, if you're one of my guests, just shoot me your Disney Plus email and I'll check on that. That's one of those weird ones that we've never had before where we can't really apply the discount until we know that you have Disney Plus. Like it's one of those things, it's never been offered. So we have to have your email address we have to put it into a website to confirm that it's active. So let us know. And if you have one, you want to book a trip and save some money for the summer or fall, hey, let's get it on the books right now. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons who make all this fun stuff possible over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. And our patrons get Mike in the Midwest every week. So come on over again, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Scott a follow today over on Instagram and Twitter. He's at epscott, EPSCOT. Give him a follow there. Also, Palm Trees of Disney on Instagram. And you can give me a follow at Be Our Guest Mike. That's on Instagram and Twitter as well. Would love to talk to you this week. And of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook and YouTube, and you will get the notification when we go live. All right, we're going to get out of here. And of course, if you're listening to this on the feed, we'll have a show hitting your feed tomorrow on Friday, of course. And if you're tuned in here on Sunday night, we have our Trip Report show hitting your feed here shortly as well. It's going to be a fun one. It's a Coronado trip report, as I recall. Lots of fun. 2 rooms, family of 7. And that's a lot. It's a really cool. They usually stay in a villa. I remember talking about this. They're normal. They ran out of DVC points. Sound familiar, Scott?
Yes, it does.
So they had to get 2 rooms at Coronado, and they're used to doing like breakfast and all that in the room. So how did it work out at Coronado without all the amenities? So it's kind of a fun show. We had a good time talking about all that stuff. So
I think there's toasters at the food court. So I guess you could take like your bagels down to the toaster. I don't know.
I think they actually got a microwave somehow too. They got their housekeeper. They talked them into it. I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't think you're supposed to, but they did. Yeah. So yeah, Disney magic, right?
Right.
All right. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for hanging with us. And we'll talk to you again next Sunday night live here on the Call-In Show. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday evening or Thursday. If you're here on the feed, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Okay. All righty, everybody.
Nice.
All right. You probably got to get dinner.
Yeah. I think we're having some pork chops.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I already had my Taco Bell, so I'm good.
We were gonna go out to dinner, and then it was then we remembered my mother-in-law's birthday is Tuesday, so then Alyssa's like, "Oh yeah, so we can have dinner tonight. We'll go out to dinner on Tuesday." And then I was like, "Oh, well, I'm supposed to be playing golf."
Oh, dude.
I know.
Be careful.
It's a tough one.
Be careful. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out, buddy. I'll see you. Have a good week.
Good show. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you. See you, everybody. See you, Fulton. See you, Melissa. See you, everybody.